I was on the 43rd floor of a Chicago hotel when the first crack appeared. Not a small one you could ignore. It was quiet but deafening. We were on a video call. She was in our bedroom, smiling, telling me she missed me. Her hair felt the same way it always did. Soft, a little messy, familiar. For a brief moment, I almost believed her. Then she got up to reach for something. She didn't notice the phone tilt. That's when I saw it on my nightstand. A man's Rolex, red face, steel band. Not mine. Never mine. It sat there like a taunt, a silent confession. I didn't ask her about it. I didn't let my face betray me. I nodded, smiled, said I loved her. When the call ended, I sat alone in the dark hotel room, staring at the skyline, knowing that nothing would ever be the same. We had been married 7 years. High school sweethearts. College together. Families intertwined. Rituals. Sunday coffee on the porch. Aimless road trips. The squeeze of her hand in crowded rooms to say, I'm here. I trusted her like gravity. That was my first mistake. She knew my travel schedule, knew when I'd be unreachable. I built the career. She built the home. That was the deal. But somewhere along the line, the home became a stage for someone else's performance. I replayed every moment. Every subtle change I brushed off. The new perfume, the longer showers, the sudden silence whenever I entered a room. I had all the pieces. I just hadn't want to put them together. Now I had no choice. The next morning, I booked the first flight home. No announcements, no warning. On the plane, I stare at my reflection in the tiny oval window. Calm, too calm. I wasn't going home to argue. I was going home to end a performance mid-act. Before boarding, I made 2 calls. One to my in-laws, told them I had a surprise for their daughter, asked them to come over in the morning, said it would mean the world. The second to a locksmith I trusted, a man who owed me favors. I asked him to meet me at the house with a fresh set of keys. If she had built a secret life inside our home, I would dismantle it with witnesses. The taxi dropped me off at dawn. The house looked perfect, untouched, as a betrayal could hide behind drawn curtains. My in-laws arrived 30 minutes later, smiling, expecting a grand romantic gesture. They thought flowers, love. In a way, they were right, but not the kind they imagined. We stood at the door. My father-in-law rang the bell. Inside, footsteps, laughter, a man's voice, not mine. The door opened. My wife froze. Behind her, half-dressed, was a man I had never seen before. Tall, athletic, wearing only boxers. On his wrist, the red Rolex. The silence was surgical. Her parents stared at her like she was a stranger. The man tried to retreat, but I stepped forward. Don't move, I said. Calm. Final. Her lips trembled. She tried to speak, but no words came. I turned to her parents. This is the man your daughter chose to bring into my bed while I was away. I wanted you to see it with your own eyes. Shock, disgust, disbelief. Her mother's hand shook. Her father's jaw clenched. I stepped back and let the silence do its work. But that was just the surface. For weeks, I had been preparing, even without fully realizing it. My instincts whispered, and I listened in small ways. I moved half our savings to a separate account, quietly updated my will, stored backups of our joint finances, passwords, documents. That morning, after the confrontation, I handed her parents an envelope, printed messages from the cloud, photos, hotel receipts, enough proof to crush denial. I told them I had filed for divorce, that I had financial safeguards in place. She wouldn't touch a cent beyond what the law required. Then I looked at her. You made a choice, I said. Now you live with it. She cried, begged, said it was a mistake, that it didn't mean anything. But the Rolex on his wrist told me everything I needed to know, enough to bring him into our sanctuary, onto my side of the bed. I told her parents they could stay or leave with her. Either way, she wasn't staying. By noon, the locksmith had changed the locks. In the weeks that followed, she tried everything. Calls, emails, long handwritten letters left on my windshield. I never answered. The divorce went through clean. No messy battles, no drawn-out fights. She walked away with less than she expected. I walked away with something priceless. Clarity. Her parents barely spoke to her. The shame was too raw, too public. The man vanished. Probably realized she wasn't worth the wreckage left behind. Sometimes I still see her face in my mind, frozen, shocked, the moment the door opened, the world she built on lies collapsing in front of her parents. That image keeps me steady. It reminds me that silence, timing, and patience are sharper weapons than rage. I don't hate her. Hate would mean I still cared. What I feel is colder, quieter, like a locked door in an empty house. She thought she was playing a secret game, but I had the last move. And when I picture her now alone, stripped of illusions, haunted by the moment her parents saw her betrayal, I don't smile. I simply breathe, steady and unbroken, knowing justice was never loud. It was deliberate, and it was mine.